Hey, welcome back to Mac Music Tech. I want to go over doing what's called a free or a wild edit in Pro Tools. If you normally start with MIDI in Pro Tools, you've probably got a grid established already. You've probably recorded to a metronome, everything is kind of set, and it's easy to do quick edits. If you haven't, however, it may or may not be the quickest thing to actually go back after the fact and set up a grid. I'll come back to that in another video. But what I want to show you is what I think is the quickest and easiest way to do a basic edit in Pro Tools using the arrow keys for selection. I've got a pretty simple 4-bar kind of blues variation. And it just meanders too long between the 1 and the 4/7 chord, going back and forth. And I want to cut 4 bars out of this intro to get into the next section. So it's pretty simple to do. I'm going to start play, and then at the beginning of the 3rd bar, I'm going to hit the down arrow to start a selection. And then 4 bars later in the next downbeat, I'm going to hit the up arrow to end the selection. Watch what this looks like in the edit window in Pro Tools. 2, 2, 3, 4, downbeat. 4, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, downbeat. So you can see I've got a selection that has been created by just using the down arrow to start it and the up arrow to end it. I like to check these by using a loop. So one of the things that you may or may not know in Pro Tools, but if you right-click or control-click on the play button, you can choose loop mode. I always leave Pro Tools in loop mode because if I don't have a selection, it doesn't loop. It just functions as a normal play. But what you'll notice now is it will loop this section. Not the smoothest of edits, but there are a couple of things that you can look at. If it loops smoothly in timing, that means I've gotten the edits right. Let's go in and clean those points up. 9 times out of 10, what you'll discover is that you were late on an edit. So I'm going to go to the front, and you'll see the downbeat actually probably happens right there. So I'm going to take this little arrow up in the timeline window and move that. Some nice things that the left and right arrows will do for you. They'll switch you back and forth between your edit points. If you hold Command and click the left arrow, it'll play 2 seconds from the edit, and if I hold Option and hit the left arrow, it'll play up to the edit and stop. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more and make sure I've got that nice and tight. You can see the waveform is going up here, and I'm going to hit the right arrow to go to the end of the edit. I'm going to bet I was late again, and I'm going to try and mimic that same place. So as I'm going left arrow and right arrow, you can kind of see I've got something that looks like it's basically the same place. Let's go ahead and check that out point. I think I'm going to be good. Let's listen to the loop on that and see what happens. I'm in great shape. If you've done something silly and noticed that whenever you've clicked on something, your selection has gone away, if you'll hold Command, Option, and Z, it will grab your selection back where it was. If you have got this button here engaged, insertion follows playback, it will do that every time you hit play and drive you crazy. So if you're doing a lot of this kind of editing, you may want to go in and turn that off. Now the cool thing is once I have this selection, if I'm in shuffle mode and I hit delete, watch what happens. Little bit more reasonable. I might want to click in here and put a little short crossfade to cover up any glitches. If I hover towards the bottom third and click and drag, I'll have a crossfade and my edit. Smooth, easy. The quickest way to get something if I don't have a grid set up. So again, the down arrow selects my endpoint, The up arrow selects my out point. I can use left and right to zoom into the individual selections, and then I can use that little blue arrow up in the top to shift and correct my timing. So I hope this was useful. Please subscribe if it is, and we'll be bringing you more tips in the future. Thanks so much.